Hello, welcome to Light Guided, Lightworkers, Empaths, Healers. I hope this message finds you each well. And I've been a little bit remiss in my ability to do these readings weekly. I had really hoped and wanted to be able to do these more often, but I'm afraid it's not realistic right now to do that. So nonetheless, we'll do a reading for the month of October for the Lightworkers, Empaths, and Healers in our midst. And let's see what messages Spirit has for you. Before I get started, I just want to take a moment to ground the reading and tune into the energy of the collective. Thank you. There's some beautiful energy around this reading. Beautiful energy. Spirit, what would you like Lightworkers to know about? Let's look at kind of the crowning energy for this reading. Just one card, please, Spirit. One card. Okay. With this beautiful energy of grounding. So this is, on the one hand, this is about being in a grounded energy, practicing being grounded, especially when we're doing a lot of spiritual work, we can become very ungrounded very quickly. It's not hard to do. I have to practice grounding all the time. In fact, many, many times a day. So this is also the relationship between you and the earth. So for some of you, you have a deep connection with the planet. And this time for you is also about being very connected with Gaia, with earth, and allowing that energy to nourish you and nurture you. And vice versa. It's equal, it's give and take, it's circular. There is you nurturing the earth nurturing you. And again, pardon me for others of you, this is really about making sure you have a very good grounding practice. And I'm going to read from the book. These are newer cards to me. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything important. Grounding. You long for the free and open worlds of spirit and light, yet you also yearn to experience the healing power and divine joy of sacred sound and living color. You are meant to bring joy, beauty, and comfort to this world, to share the spiritual light. To do so, you need grounding. Your dreams want you just as much as you want them. Grounding helps you bring your dreams to life in your world for the benefit of many. Wow. That is beautiful, gorgeous energy. Gorgeous energy. All right. Let's take a look at what you might be emerging from. What energy may you be emerging from at this time? We have the energy of observer. Some of you may be coming out of a time of stillness, coming out of a time of watching and waiting. I'm getting for some of you this energy of, the only word that comes to mind is apathy. There's been a withholding, an energy of holding back, but almost like not even consciously. It's an energy of... It's not the energy of giving up. It's kind of like being in an in-between energy where you're not ready to move forward, but you don't know how to be in the present, so you're just kind of there. And you're looking for something outside of yourself. You're looking for spirit to affirm the path that you're on. And that's wonderful. This is a wonderful place to be, where you're in a place of seeking and finding and learning. So what I'm getting from that is, for those of you that find these messages, many of you are probably earlier on in your Lightworker journey or in your empath journey, your healing journey. You're a little bit more you're earlier in that work, maybe just newly awakening to this possibility of who you are in this energy. And so there's still at this time kind of a lot of looking, seeking, clarifying. Let's look also at current energies. Where are you currently in all of this? I'm seeing a lot of love around, a lot of pink energy around as I'm shuffling. Some of you may be really connected in with that energy of love right now. Opening to love, being available to love, being a source of love, a source of compassion. Spirit, what are the current energies for Lightworker? Thank you. Interesting. We have the energy of message in a bottle. This kind of goes back to this earlier energy where I was talking about you're seeking and looking and waiting for information. So I feel like for those of you that are that resonates with, you will be receiving some confirmation. There is going to be a shift for some of you in this energy where messages are going to start coming in and they're going to start being clearer. You're going to start to have more clarity in the messages that are coming in for you. Spirit's telling me also there for some of you, there are very specific messages in the 3D world. So you're waiting to hear from someone. And perhaps some of you have been very worried about the health and well-being of family or friends. So that's a message for specific folks here. But Spirit, let me know that needed to come through. Okay. Let's take a look at, for Lightworkers in the month of October, what's happening on the subconscious level. And I said for the month of October, but it will really be whenever I post this, probably like mid-September through the middle to the end of October, and for some of you into November as well. Spirit, what's happening at the subconscious level for our Lightworkers? Okay. I'll show you why I'm giggling here. One more card, please. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That's fantastic. So I was giggling because the first energy that came out is the energy of love, and I was feeling that energy around a lot of you. Yeah, so there's a strong message here around some of the zodiacs got a similar message where the energy here is around love as a complete experience, love as kind of what we might describe as unconditional love, where we begin to recognize that everything that is happening in the 3D, in the spiritual realm, everything is love, and we can bring love to everything. And that's not to say that we bring love to a situation where we have no boundaries or where we're getting emotionally pummeled by something. We can still have good boundaries. In fact, Spirit wants us to have good boundaries, I believe. Spirit wants us to take care of ourselves and have well-being. And also connecting in with this beautiful energy of love, this beautiful energy of compassion and wholeness and wellness. Spirit is also telling me, Spirit saying, and let them know how much we love them. So there's an energy here from the guides that are connected to the Lightworker energy that they just want you to know how loved you are. For all your, what we might call imperfections, they only see us as beautiful, whole, perfect, and complete. Spirit always and only sees us as perfect. And so that's a message they're asking me to convey to you. We have the energy of flexibility here. Oh, This is interesting. What they're showing me here is, it's kind of going back to boundaries, what I was talking about with boundaries. So on the one hand, there's, okay. So flexibility, sometimes when we are being flexible, we are not abiding by our own boundaries. We are actually violating our own needs, our own self-worth, all of that. And so what they're showing me here is, they're basically saying, don't stick your hand in the mouth of the tiger just to walk down the path. So there is a way to walk with the tiger, and the way to walk with the tiger is to be clear about who you are and how you walk in the world, and then you and the tiger can walk together down this beautiful path. And I believe what they're expressing there is reminding us again about boundaries, about having good boundaries. We can be loving, we can also be helpful and nurturing and move in the direction that we need to move in without harming anyone else. And we can do that while having really good boundaries, not letting other people violate our well-being, and us not violating our own well-being by doing things that don't feel right to us, that don't feel in alignment with our highest self. And this is one of my all-time favorite cards out of this deck. This is the energy of simplicity. Keep it simple. Allow things to be simple. We so overcomplicate. We so overcomplicate our experience, both spiritually, but also physically in the 3D. We tend to complicate things, not on purpose. And spirit is like, no, there's no judgment in that. But this is a reminder to really move in the energy of simplicity. Is there anything that you can do to simplify your life right now, to simplify your practices, to simplify, I'm also hearing clearing up clutter, clearing up clutter. So if there are spaces in your homes, clearing up clutter, clearing up the clutter of our minds, cleaning our minds. Let's look what's happening here at the conscious level for Lightworkers. At the conscious level, we have the energy of embracing. Oh, I love it. We have the energy of embracing, the energy of wonders, and the energy of illumination. Let me start here in this beautiful energy of embracing. At the conscious level, like I said, one of the zodiacs had a very similar reading. It's an Aquarius zodiac, an Aquarian zodiac reading. So if this message resonates for you, you might want to check out the Aquarius reading, even if you're not an Aquarius. There may be more messages there for you. This is an energy of embracing. I'm hearing embracing the suck. So for some of you, there may be some really stinky situations that are happening that you're trying to find peace with, that you're trying to find acceptance with. But overall, this message is about recognizing the wholeness of life and embracing all parts of ourselves, all parts of our experience, moving away from being critical and judgmental, that mental clutter that we have. Finding ways to take care of ourselves, setting good boundaries, and then, and at the same time, again, being in an energy of embracing and accepting all that is, so that we're not in an energy of resistance. When we're in an energy of resistance, it's much more difficult to move through life, right? So yeah, and I'm getting that this card is here on purpose under the love card, that this is about self-love. Well, just seeing yourself the way Spirit sees you, even if you have imperfections or things that you think of as imperfections, that you allow that they are just part of who you are, and that's okay. We have this beautiful energy of wonder. So some of you are stepping into a new energy of discovery. I think I was saying that earlier. So there is definitely a confirmation here for some of you. There's a new energy of discovery, a new energy of moving into gifts and talents, connecting with spirit in a much broader way, looking for ways that you connect with spirit, looking for new talents. So with this, I keep seeing books, and I'm seeing books with the observer as well. So you might be doing internet searches, you might be looking for books right now, discovering, being in an energy of discovery. And I'm getting very strongly two messages here. This is the energy of discovering. For some of you, you are discovering that you have very highly intuitive. And in the past, you may have described your intuitiveness as being too sensitive. But Spirit is saying, no, that your intuition is something that you can cultivate, that you can develop, and you can take it out of the realm of... They're saying that for some of you, you've used your intuition as kind of a protective mechanism, like as a protection, a self-protection, and you can learn skills to take it out of that world, out of the world of, hey, I have to protect myself, so I'm going to use my intuition here, or my sensitivity, and move it into something where it's a concrete skill and a concrete gift, while maintaining your good boundaries. And so there is that message for some of you who are interested in cultivating that. For others of you, this is just a very general sense of having an experience of awe with spirit, allowing yourself to come into relationship with spirit in a way that brings that sense of awe. And I do get, for many of you, it's kind of intermittent. You have those moments of awe and then they kind of slip away, and you have moments of awe and they slip away. And that's okay. You can fully accept that as just part of the journey. There is no perfect way to do this process. It is unique and unfolding perfectly for each of us. And illumination. So again, many of you are coming out of situations where there may have been difficult times, challenges. You may have some of that in your current energy. And this is a reminder to allow all situations, no matter what they are, all situations have the possibility to bring us enlightenment. And it's all a matter of how we deal with those situations. It's all a matter of how we interact with those situations. And it's about our inner perspective. And that starts with being able to embrace it. It starts with being able to accept what is and changing our relationship to those circumstances. And that's where our enlightenment comes from. So I'm seeing for, I would say most of you at this point, I'm seeing that you're going to have, you've had experiences like this, and you'll continue to have more experiences of these moments of clarity, moments where you're in connection with spirit, or you're in connection with your intuition, and something sparks and opens up a whole new... Wow, this is very exciting, actually. It's a very exciting energy. It opens up like a whole new possibility for you as you're connected in with this. So that's absolutely lovely. Let's look here at the higher conscious level. What's happening at the higher conscious level? Oh, and I did... These cards, by the way, these are a new deck to me. These are called the Sacred Destiny deck. And they're by Denise Lynn, for those of you that might be wondering. They're absolutely beautiful, and the energy in these cards is absolutely amazing. I'm really loving these. And they're perfect for a light worker reading. All right, so let's look at higher consciousness. Higher consciousness for beautiful light workers. I'm also getting, they want me to ask a different question in this reading. So we'll look at, rather than higher consciousness, they're asking me to use the question about what is my purpose, or what's happening at the higher level of the collective, like collectively what's happening, if that makes sense. So there is movement and momentum happening at the collective level, and Spirit wants to bring that message forward to you. Oh, yeah. Interesting. So Spirit is connecting in with this beautiful energy of community. So what they're showing me is that the first part of the reading was really focused on you as an individual, and now what they really want to do is connect you into the collective. They want to help you to start recognizing that as you identify yourself as a light worker, and there are people all over the planet who identify themselves as light workers, you are all connected energetically. We are all connected energetically, and the difference is that we resonate at different vibrations or frequencies, and so there's a frequency among light workers, and what they're asking me to tell you about is to let you know of that connection, so that powerful connection. So individually, you're on your own journey. Part of the work here as a light worker is connecting in with that consciousness of light worker energy. What's that vibration? What does that mean to you? And allowing that energy to be a source of healing. And there's give and take. I picked that up in the energy of the grounding card when we first started, around that reciprocity, that give and take, that law of circulation. As you give, as you heal, you are bringing healed energy and light energy into the collective that you are part of, that light worker community that you are part of. And that energy is doing the same for you. And they're telling me this is important because it is part of how you're going to get re-energized, and how you're going to do your healing work is by drawing on that collective energy. And we don't need to be in physical community with other light workers or other people who relate to this kind of work. This can be a process that happens in meditation, intentionally just focusing on connecting with the collective light worker energy. There's another message here. Spirit wants to share a message about something about the larger light worker community. Let's see. Beautiful. Some of these are the same energies that came out in the Aquarius reading. Yeah. So Spirit is basically saying the energy, this energy of happiness, this energy of joy, this energy of abundance, we can bring that energy into this collective, and it becomes like a tuning fork. It becomes like a tuning fork for the rest of the world. So if you happen to be somebody who's feeling like the world is falling apart, a lot of people are feeling that way. If you're somebody who might be having that experience right now, by tapping into this collective energy of your Lightworker tribe and bringing the vibration of happiness and joy into that and allowing that to circulate so that there is reciprocity in that energy, that energy becomes a tuning fork for the planet and really for the universe. We are part of something even much bigger than we realize, not just what's happening on this planet, but there's there's interdimensional energies and multidimensional energies that are happening at the same time. So that's a beautiful message. And similarly, this energy of finding, this is about allowing this energy to feed and nourish you. And my attention is being drawn to these butterflies. I'm going to say, keep your eyes open for butterflies. They're telling me there's a message here about the butterflies. Now, right now on the planet, particularly in the United States, there's a lot of fires in the western region of the United States, and there are a lot of insects and animals dying as a result of that. And what Spirit wants you to know is that life is always regenerating. Life is always regenerating. And the butterflies are here to remind us and show us that life is always regenerating. So even if we see in the physical 3D world, oh my gosh, something is not, thriving, life is dying, that in fact at the spiritual level, life is always regenerating. There will always be physical life. There will never be a time ever moving forward where there is not some form of physical life in manifestation, whether that is on this planet or other planets, okay? Oh, they have a lot to say today. And then finally, spirit guide. Yeah, so spirit, again, I mean, they're just saying stay connected to your tribe. This energy will help to guide you. This energy will help to clarify for you. For those of you that are wondering what your place is in the world or what your role is as a light worker, connecting in with this energy will help you to do that. And they are sending you, I'm hearing they're just sending a ton of downloads, a ton of messages. So for some of you, you might be dealing with a lot of physical symptoms or other things, and you may be feeling like you're being blocked from this information or from this energy, but you're not. Your body is just trying to process. It's just trying to integrate and incorporate the messages that are coming forward. Whew, I need a drink of water after that. They have a lot to say. A lot to say. I'm not even done with the reading and we're almost 30 minutes in. So, okay. So finally, they also want to talk about purity and enlightenment. Spirit, what would you like us to know about purity and enlightenment? Oh, okay. So they are reconfirming for me the message that I said before about the Lightworker collective that you're part of is part of this tuning fork for the planet, for the universe. The energy that we bring into that we take from that we're in circulation with, that energy is setting a tone for which all other things can start to vibrate toward. So hopefully this language is familiar to many of you. If you're not familiar with the language of frequency and vibration, please do check that out. You can also find really cool information in the realm of quantum physics. I'm hearing that's a message for a few of you who need to know. And then finally, enlightenment. So an affirmation of this ongoing energy of, as you raise your vibration, as you raise your frequency, as the collective frequency raises and the vibration raises there, we are not only becoming more enlightened, but we are bringing a level of enlightenment to the universe that it needs. This is part of its natural evolution. The universe is just doing what the universe does. It's growing. The universe is growing. It's expanding. And we are part of that expansion because we are not separate. We are not separate from the universe. Okay, Spirit is letting me know that we can move back into the more individual energy. So I'm going to shift a little bit here. And now we're going to look at, for you individually, what needs to be healed or released in the upcoming weeks. So for some of you, there is a need for closure. There's a need for forgiveness and a need to step away and release things that are no longer working for you, energetically, physically, emotionally, mentally. It goes back to that clutter energy that I was picking up before. There may be things in your life that sort of feel like clutter, emotional clutter, mental clutter. It's time to, begin to forgive whatever those areas are and to begin to walk your own path and move away from that. This is interesting. We have the energy of animals, and I'm never quite sure. This is a funny energy to me. Sometimes I pick this up as there are animals around you that are bringing you messages. For some of you, you may have lost animals recently, but also sometimes this is about finding like a spirit animal. So I would say take that however it resonates for you personally. I do feel for some of you very specifically there are messages coming through from certain animals. And actually what they're telling me is some of you might have oracle decks that are animal oracle decks. And this is a good time to be consulting with that. You may find some needed answers that you've been looking for. And finally, we have this beautiful energy of transformation. And if you watch any of my readings on a regular basis, you know that I'm very focused on this, the energy of transformation. And from my perspective, we are in a state of transformation, and we have been in a state of transformation and will continue to be in that state. So we may have transformations in our lives from one phase to another, but there's a much larger transformation happening that we are part of. As I said that earlier. So I feel like what this is asking you is, or sharing with you is, if you are in this energy of transformation where you feel kind of in between, you feel a little bit stuck, you're not quite sure where you're going, but you're letting go of a lot of things from the past, and maybe you feel unsure, this is a reminder to kind of let all of that go. Let go of your expectations about it, let go of your fears and your anxieties about it, and just allow it to unfold. Just allow it to be, you are safe, you are protected, you're supported, and it's okay to just let things unfold. It's not like you can make a misstep, right? It's not like you can make a mistake. It really, in my view, there really are no such things. We do behaviors all the time that bring certain consequences that we don't like, but in life there really are no mistakes. It is just life. It is just the process of one foot in front of the other and living to the best of our ability. For some of you, since this is in the position of what needs to be healed and released, some of you may have animal beings in your life that mean a lot to you that you've had to let go for some reason or another. Let's look at what needs to be sustained. What needs to be sustained? What needs to be sustained? Commitment and truth. I'm actually reading this as commitment to the truth. Sustaining the commitment to the truth of who you are, the path that you're on, the way that you're moving forward on this path, knowing what's right for you, knowing what fills you, knowing your relationship with Spirit, and just staying true to that, holding true to that. They are showing me here for commitment for some of you. For some of you, this might be a formal commitment to a spiritual path. You may be taking a class of some kind, or enrolling in a program, or getting certified in something, or in some way committing to a certain practice or path. And they're just saying, stay true to yourself, stay true to your process and your path. Let's look at what needs to begin. What needs to begin in the month, in this upcoming few weeks for Lightworkers. Emphasis on career, something that needs to begin. So for some of you, this may be a time to start looking at a change of career, whether it is a change that is sparked by your growth and development and your transformation. In other words, you may take some of your spiritual gifts, your spiritual path, and bring it into the world of career, make a living at it. In general, it may just be that you are looking for a new work or a new career. Let's look at overall outcome here for overall outcome, please. Overall outcome, please. Oh, I love it. Overall outcome You have luck on your side. Your life is full of serendipity and good luck. So, and I'm being told that's for some of you related directly to this career area. So if you're waiting on a job or something like that, it feels like luck is on your side. Financial health is on your side. So if you've had any struggles with finances, it feels like this is going to culminate and come into resolution. And finally, fertility. So 2 messages with the energy of fertility. What I'm seeing here is a continuation of your growth and development, but I feel like this came up before, new information is coming in for you, new awarenesses, new inspirations, things that are going to spark new interest, maybe have you looking at new pathways of, again, a spiritual path, like a committed, process or program that you do, or a committed spiritual practice that you do. But overall, this energy just feels very stable, very grounded, very nurturing, very supportive. So what I get from that too is anything that comes up in this time, just recognize that you are fully supported. And like I said, there's a bunch of overlapping messages here with the Aquarius reading. So even if you're not an Aquarius, you may want to check that reading out. There may be some more information there for you. I'm checking in to see, I think Spirit is asking for final messages here. I'll pull 3 final cards. Balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Surrender. I can release my need to control. And self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Yes, amen. Hallelujah. Yes, you do. All right, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope these messages have offered you something in the way of clarity, healing, support, and we will see you again very soon. Thank you. Much love and blessings.